Hi, and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you clicked on my channel, firstly, welcome. And on this channel, I discuss the outer body state, lucid dreaming, consciousness, and personal power. I created this video to help people achieve the outer body state through sleep paralysis. The outer body state is a state of consciousness where you explore reality outside your physical body. I'm assuming that if you clicked on this video, you are aware of the existence of this state, the research and science backing it, and you have been trying to achieve this state but have trouble getting there. This video is intended to help you with that. The main principle of achieving the state is mind awake, body asleep. It sounds simple, but if you've been practicing, then you know it's a lot harder than it sounds. When I first started this practice, I really struggled to find videos that explained this process in detail. Many videos will talk about reaching the vibrational state, but how do you actually get there? How do you keep your mind awake while your body sleeps? That sounds so counterintuitive to how the body works. How do you know when you're about to reach sleep paralysis? What does it feel like? Are there any signals or signs that tell you that you're close? These are the questions that I will help answer in this video. I've done a ton of research and combined it with my own personal experience to come up with a framework for achieving this state, and I've called this the 5 gates of sleep paralysis. 5 gates because I noticed there are 5 main milestones that you will notice that tell you how close or how far you are from sleep paralysis. I will explain what is happening to your body and what is happening to your mind through this process. I will also guide you on what to do and what not to do during this process. So with that being said, let's proceed with some prep work. So you want to ensure you're in the optimized biological state for an OBE. Sleep is crucial for us to function properly, and if you're practicing after a long day at work when you're mentally tired, your chances of success are extremely low. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you want to give yourself the best chance possible to succeed. I want you to think of your brain like a battery. It uses energy during the day and recharges when you sleep. If you attempt this after a long day, your brain is exhausted or on low battery, and you will fall asleep because it must recharge. Which is why I recommend practicing after you've had some sleep. You sleep for about 5 to 6 hours, stay up for about 10 to 20 minutes, then lay back down with the intention of staying conscious as your body falls back to sleep. The reason this works is timing. After 5 or 6 hours, you've gone through most of your recovery sleep. Your brain has had enough rest to maintain some focus, and your body is still pushing for some sleep. This is a healthy state for an OBE. People also have success practicing during the day, like when taking an afternoon nap. So choose a time that works for you, that gives you your best chance of success. And with that being said, let's start with the first gate. So let's start with the body and get the body position right. You're going to lay completely still and awake for anywhere between 45 to 90 minutes at least, and maybe longer if you hit a few snags along the way. The most effective way to sleep is in the soldier position, which is laying flat on your back with your arms to your side and your feet slightly apart, pointing outward. Make sure the left side and the right side of your body is symmetrical so your weight is evenly distributed. Then intentionally relax every part of your body from head to toe. Start with the muscles in your face. Tell the muscles in your face to relax, to let go, and to sleep. Feel the muscles loosen, and then move to your neck and shoulders. Tell the muscles in your neck and shoulders to relax, to let go, and to sleep. Do this for the rest of your body until your body is completely relaxed. Your mind should be focusing on getting the body to relax. Focus on this relaxation technique until you feel comfortable and relaxed. Then start moving into a calm, meditative state. Your mind is still very active at this point, so it's best to calm it by always bringing your attention to your breath. Focus on the inhale and the exhale, and this will calm your nervous system. You can use the 4-7-8 breathing technique, which is breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and breathe out for 8 seconds. Once your body is relaxed and your mind is relatively calm, you are headed towards the first gate. So now we're approaching the first gate. The first body gate process is called distal vasodilation. This is where the body expels heat through your hands and your feet to lower its core temperature to fall asleep. For the body to sleep, the internal temperature needs to drop. You will notice a sudden flash of heat, which would cause your skin to itch. Do not move or itch, because it will break the process and you will start the shutdown clock all over again. Instead, prepare for this process. Keep the room temperature at the right temperature. Warm enough so you don't shiver, but cool enough so you don't overheat. And if you're like me and need to sleep with a duvet or a blanket, then expose the upper half of your body so the heat can escape and is not trapped. The sensation won't last long and will pass once the body reaches its desired temperature. For the mind, the first mind gate is to try to bring yourself into a relaxed state. You want to get into a meditative state where you are merely observing your thoughts. The analogy I want you to remember is to imagine you're sitting on a riverbank, watching leaves floating down a river, but you are not reaching out to touch them, but watching them as they come and go. The person sitting on that riverbank is your awareness. The river is the space between your thoughts, and the leaves are your thoughts. You are watching your thoughts come and go without touching them, but you are also aware of the space between them. You want to remain in this mental state for the entire process until it's time to exit the body. If you engage with your thoughts, you run the risk of being pulled into a dream and falling asleep. It might take you a while to get through the first gate when you're first starting out. Getting the right body position and learning how to calm your mind is something that takes practice. You may find that when you lay still for a long period of time, your neck starts to hurt, or you may need a new pillow, or maybe you start to feel the heat leaving your body, and you need to adjust the clothes you wear or the room temperature. You may also need to practice the mental state of just watching your thoughts, but this is something you can do when you're awake as well. When you meditate, practice this mental state by just sitting still, calming your mind, and watching your thoughts. The more you practice, the easier it will be. The second gate is where your brain starts powering down the waking state. The system that keeps your muscles awake is handing over to the system that will eventually paralyze them. During that handoff, there are brief moments where you'll feel a finger, a leg, or an arm twitch. This twitch is completely normal and indicates that you have reached the second gate. For the second mind gate, you will start to feel disconnected from the body. You may notice yourself spinning, sinking, floating, or something similar. Scientists call this body image distortion. As the brain starts to reduce the priority of incoming body position data, your internal body map starts to drift. It is completely normal and is actually a sign that you're making progress. Behind the scenes, the neurons that produce orexin, the brain's main stay-awake chemical, is winding down. Orexin acts like a stabilizer for the waking state. Once it drops, the transition into sleep becomes much harder to resist. Don't force yourself to focus here. You will wake yourself up and prolong the process. Trying to focus here will expend your mental battery and increase your chances of falling asleep. If you don't feel the twitches or don't experience any body image distortion, it could mean that you're too focused, or there is still some tension in your body. As you move past the first gate and onto the second gate, the thoughts that are playing through in your mind may cause you some anxiety or stress. You are seeing events from the day, memories from the past, or potential events that could happen in the future. It causes parts of your body to tense up, especially the face muscles. Between every thought, run through the relaxation process from head to toe. Make sure the thought hasn't tensed up some part of your body. It will also become harder to maintain awareness. You want to let go slightly and keep your awareness on the thread. It will take practice. The third gate. The first thing you will notice is your breathing. It gets shallower and you may feel a heaviness on your chest, like someone has placed a weight on your chest. Many ancient traditions describe this as a demon sitting on your chest. It's not. It's just your brainstem taking over, and its breathing pattern is naturally slower and shallower. Your chest muscles are also starting to lose their tone. This is what creates the heavy, compressed feeling. You might also notice your heartbeat, not because it's beating harder or faster, but because everything else is getting quieter. As your external sensory input dims, your internal signals become louder by comparison. That thudding you feel is not your heart racing, it is your awareness turning inward. Everything is still okay. And for the mind, at this point, your brain's wake promoting chemicals are declining, and your brain waves have crossed into theta territory. You will start seeing things, not imagining them, but seeing them. Faces, colors, shapes, fragments of scenes. These are hypnagogic hallucinations, and they happen because your visual cortex is still active, but is no longer receiving reliable input from your eyes. It is generating its own content. This is the phase where you must surrender your breath. Do not take a deep breath, because you are then signaling to your brain that it is not time for sleep, and you are therefore aborting the process. I know it feels counterintuitive when your chest is heavy and your breathing feels shallow, but the heaviness is a signal that your body is doing its job. Watch the images forming behind your closed eyes, as if you are watching a screen. Do not direct them, do not interact with them, just observe. The fourth gate is where most people hear things like a loud buzz, a roar, an engine, voices, and so on. What is happening is this. Your thalamus, a structure deep in the center of your brain, is the relay station for almost all sensory information and is in the process of shifting modes. Its neurons stop transmitting cleanly and begin firing in rhythmic bursts. But here's the most important part. Your auditory cortex does not know the gate is closing. It is still expecting input. And when it does not get any, it can generate its own signals, the buzzing, the static, the engine sound, and so on. For the mind, you may also experience brief blackouts, a moment where you lose a thread of consciousness entirely and then snap back. In sleep science, these correspond to microsleep episodes, brief plunges into stage 2 sleep lasting only a few seconds. They are completely normal. They are actually a sign that your brain is oscillating at the boundary between wakefulness and sleep, flickering back and forth like a light slowly being pushed. And there's one more thing you might notice as well, an emotional flatness. The things that would normally alarm you, the strange sounds, the heavy body, the sense that you cannot move, they just stop mattering. This is partly neurochemical. As your prefrontal cortex powers down, so does your capacity for anxiety and judgment. It is partly a consequence of theta dominance. In theta, the emotional volume knob has been turned all the way down. During this gate, just ride the static. The noise will startle you the first time you experience this, but the best way to deal with this is to just expect it. Anticipate the sound so you don't wake yourself up because it is extremely loud. Stay calm the entire way through. And if you experience a micro blackout, do not panic when you snap back. Just re-establish your passive awareness and continue. The apathy you feel is your friend here. Let it wash over you. The less you care about what's happening to your body, the faster this gate will close completely. The fifth gate is the moment sleep paralysis kicks in. Your body is now in full REM atonia. The brainstem has sent a cascade of chemicals like GABA and glycine down your spinal motor neurons. These chemicals lock your skeletal muscles in place. You cannot move your arms, your legs, or your fingers. Only your eyes and diaphragm are spared. This is sleep paralysis. And if you have arrived here with your awareness intact, you have done something incredible. You have maintained consciousness through the entire shutdown sequence. While your body is locked down, your brain is lighting up. The brain is producing slow rhythms of deep sleep and at the same time producing fast beta and gamma waves, the same patterns associated with intense waking focus. And you can feel it. You will feel alert and thinking with complete clarity. Your mind is sharp and focused. This is your exit window. This is the trigger to perform your exit maneuver. Roll out, climb out, whatever your preferred technique is. And that's it. That's the journey into sleep paralysis with clearly defined milestones on getting there. I hope this video helped, and I have made this presentation available to download. Please send me an email on the address listed on my channel, and I will email a copy this to you. This presentation breaks down each gate into a nice table that you can refer back to when you need to. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below.